Honey, I'm home. What's for dinner? The game's on tonight? Honey! Marion! 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 Oh crap, not again. Gersonzero here, and welcome to the review show of the internet that tells you if a game is worth collecting, emulating, or just watching a YouTube walkthrough. And if you're just tuning in, I looked at Double Dragon 1, Double Dragon 2 on the NES, and now time to look at Double Dragon 3 in celebration of Double Dragon 4 release. Okay, Dash, I don't think I can do this. Releasing a mere year after the home console port of Double Dragon 2, Technos Japan decided to take a different approach for its next game. Rather than developing an arcade version first and NES later, the decision was made to develop both concurrently. Double Dragon 3 The Rosetta Stones and Double Dragon 3 The Sacred Stones. The former is its arcade title and the latter of the two on NES. In the end, both products were quite different. The arcade version increases player count to 3, had more selectable characters, and was strangely seen as a shameless cash grab. I never played the arcade cabinet, but it is said weapon pickups were stripped away entirely and replaced with an item shop, which can be found at the beginning of each stage. These item shops allowed players to buy weapons. Sounds convenient, right? Well, what if I told you in order to purchase items, you had to insert quarters? Like actual quarters from real life in your pocket. If you thought modern games were BS due to their in-game microtransactions or pay-to-win methods, Double Dragon 3 took those very steps in the early 90s. Luckily, I won't be reviewing the arcade release, but focus on the platform I started this Double Dragon month on, the NES. The story starts off like the first two games did. Marion is kidnapped. Okay, at this point, I'm wondering if she was competing with Princess Peach or Zelda for attention. For sure, it's a new group behind her disappearance, and to make matters worse, they went as far as beating one of Billy and Jimmy's apprentices to death in their own dojo. Rest in peace, Brett. Brett! Oh my god, who did this, Brett? Brett! Oh, Brett, why, Brett? Tell us who did this, Brett, tell us! Oh, looks like we got visitors, Jimmy. So this is them, huh? You bastards! Why did you kill Brett? Tell us! Why did you kill Brett? You're gonna pay for what you did to Brett! Don't get me! This is for Marion too! After failing to kill the Lee brothers, we find out that the unknown group is looking for a set of sacred stones, hence the name, in exchange for Marion. Rumor has it once all stones are gathered together, unlimited power may be granted to its user. Without question, the Double Dragons go across the globe, gathering 3 stones with the help of some old lady called Hiroka. In terms of story, that's it. Don't expect story presented in the same format as The Revenge. Here it's all text, which I guess is better than the first game, but seems lazy compared to the second. Now when it comes to gameplay, I have a lot to talk about. Simultaneous co-op returns, and so does the first game's control scheme. No more do you have to change your button presses according to the direction Billy or Jimmy is facing. Pushing A will throw a punch, and B lashes out a kick. Mashing either attack chains hits as usual. Jumping is performed by hitting both buttons together. If you're diving into this game from Revenge, then some essential moves are missing from the brothers' arsenal. Gone is the rising uppercut, And sadly, so is the Tiger Knee. To be fair, those moves were way cheesy. The Cyclone Kick returns and is a lot easier to unleash. Simply jump followed by pressing kick while midair. Just because some of the old moveset was changed doesn't mean new techniques are useless. Running. Yes, you can run now. Double tapping forward will allow you to sprint. Tapping forward in the direction of an enemy and pushing both A and B allows you to jump forward. While launch, you can either press A to throw your opponent or B for a cool kick. The controls sound similar, but to be honest, the weight and feel behind combos and movements feel odd. I know this is weird to say, but imagine this game being a more realistic or grounded Double Dragon game. It's difficult to put how this feels into words, but this doesn't compare to the smoother feel of Revenge or even the original. I guess it's a matter of taste, but even after completing the game, it just doesn't feel good. Weapons are dropped by enemies, unlike the arcade version, and are extremely useful. It's worth noting that pickups aren't as common here, but it's because now each character is equipped with a starting weapon. Double Dragon 3 introduced a new menu system. The menu not only shows your current health, but gives the option of equipping weapons.
It's not working! I got an idea! Where's Marion?
Starting weapons have a limited number of times you can utilize them. There's no way to change your starting weapon until you unlock this game's best feature: new playable characters. The Lees have to make room for Jin and Raizo. Jin apparently being the brother of someone from the last game, who doesn't ring a bell by the way. After kicking his butt, Jin joins the team. Raizo on the other hand has no connection with Billy or Jimmy. His clan simply possesses one of the sacred stones, and after experiencing his first defeat to the brothers, joins the party.
Oh, okay, you win! Okay, I'll join your army! My name is Renzo, and I shall kill anyone who gets in my way. Allow me to demonstrate my secret technique that I did not use on you guys.
Whoa, those are shurikens? The commands for Billy and Jimmy carry over to these new characters, and to be frank, work entirely different. Instead of a throw midair, Chin pulls off possibly the cheesiest move in the game, the planking headbutt, or what I like to call the cheese and crackers. I call it the cheese and crackers because, well, it's cheesy. You can't have cheese without crackers, right? He also has a double kick, which is a 2-hit combo, and mostly safe to execute. Remember when I said you could change weapons once more members join the squad? Everyone has a unique starting weapon. Chin has the Ultra Broken Claws. I say that because I'm pretty sure it's the strongest in the game. He's really slow, but honestly, with his higher damage output and overall health compared to everyone else in the group, makes him a godsend. Raizo is also a great warrior. He can't pick up weapons because he has a sword, but could equip his shurikens. These shurikens don't do much damage, but are great against bosses, especially during keep away. He pulls out his sword during chain combos. Let me not get started on his jumping slash attack or his flip kick. The flip kick made me feel more safe than being in a witness protection program. Coupled with Chin's cheese and crackers, I would go as far as saying drop the brothers altogether, because these two are broken. The fighting mechanics are solid, but where it starts to fall apart is in single player sessions. Unless you start cheesing beyond belief, enemies throughout will bully you as early as stage 1. Like the original, expect to trade blows a lot. forcing you into the game over screen a lot. The worst part is you start with 1 life and 1 continue. You heard that correct. We went from 3 lives, 1 continue, to potentially 7 lives with cheats, to 1 life and 1 continue. There's no cheats to continue, by the way. If you die once, it's game over. You wanted a realistic beat-em-up game where getting jumped ends with possible death? This is the game for you. I cannot stress enough how well trained these new enemies are. They read you like an open book and react to your attacks quickly. I died so many times in single player that I've quit playing by myself. During beatdowns, you'll quickly realize the on-screen sprite limitation hasn't changed. If anything, flickering is much higher, and although I didn't mind it in previous titles, this time it's distracting. I much rather endure flickering than slow down. At least that isn't an issue. Considering how bloodthirsty these enemies are, I couldn't beat this game by myself. I had the help of my wife. Without her, I would have been stuck on the 2nd stage. Sad, right? I'm sure if I play now, I could progress further on my own, but trust me when I say co-op is much easier. In fact, I would go as far as saying it's easy mode. You're better off surviving in co-op. The best part about co-op are the double team attacks. The Lees come together to execute an advanced cyclone kick. I call it the triple axle. If you sat next to us during our play sessions, you wouldn't believe how much cheesing we were doing in battle. We simply stood still, aligned, pixel perfect, and triple axled our way to victory. After unlocking Chin and Raizo, we mostly dropped Billy and Jimmy, then came up with a new strategy. Watch out! I got your back, ninja boy! Cheese and crackers! Can you believe they toned down the platforming? I couldn't believe how they limited it to just a few segments towards the end. Sure, the 1st and 2nd game only had a handful too, but here, the challenge is finally reasonable. In Double Dragon 2 specifically, I wanted to drink bleach. But now, even my wife had no issues clearing these. Ugh, come on, dope boy, woo-hoo! I'm so scared, ninja boy! Where's Billy? I don't know! Come on, you can do it! Bosses were also a complete joke. At first glance, they seem brutal and unfair, but once you equip weapons and surround them, they don't stand a chance. The only time you will want to hang yourself is the final battle, which, spoilers, is Marion.
Damn. After fighting all those pricks, looks like I got some bad news for you, Billy. Marion's our enemy! No! It can't be! Why, Marion? Marion! Billy! Why must you always call out Marion's name?
After beating Billy's girlfriend half to death, you're greeted to the end screen, showcasing a small prologue for everyone. And in the end, everyone lives happily ever after.
So there you have it, guys, my review or rant on Double Dragon 3, The Sacred Stones for the NES. Now it's time to get into my rating system. You know, the rating system that I use when I play these retro games. Based on 3 questions I asked myself. Is the game worth collecting, emulating, or just watching a YouTube walkthrough?
Emulate. Double Dragon 3 is a pretty fun game, but in my opinion, only during a co-op session. The game is brutal, but after getting the hang of its mechanics, the difficulty is a little overrated. Now if you're playing alone, then good luck. Some of the issues I had were fights being relentless on your own, but could be countered with just cheese tactics. I wouldn't put it in my collection, but check it out via emulation before considering a spot on the shelf.
So we finally made it. All 3 Double Dragons on the NES completed, and now, time to tackle the newest game in the series.